The F4 British Championship decider, the single-seaters. Max Futrell versus Senan Fielding for the title. It's tight, and Phil Glue and Richard John Neal are the commentators.
Thanks very much, Steve. Max Futrell on pole position. He's second position in the championship, but just 3 points down on the man who starts in 6th place, Senan Fielding. So if Max wins the race, he'll win the championship. So it's Futrell and Ayrton Simmons on the front row, then James Pull on row 2 with Frank Bird, Lewis Leeds, and there is Senan Fielding 6th on the grid. Jamie Caroline won race 2 of the meeting, the partially reversed grid. He did qualify on pole for this one, but a technical infringement sees him off the back, and to add insult to injury, he's got a 10-second penalty as well.
No, I'm not sure if he has to take that one in this third race. He took it in race 1.
Oh, he had it, so it's just one 10-second.
So
right, okay, right. Fair enough. Here we are, ready for the start of race 30. It's been a long season. It's Futrell and Simmons on the front row of the grid. Max makes a good start. Frank Bird, a little bit slow away from the outside of row 2. Keep your eyes, though, on the white and gold car coming round the outside. And the man who needs to do the attacking is Senan Fielding. And Fielding is, I think, up into 5th place. He's got Lewis Leeds in front of him. He's managed to clear Frank Bird, but the race leader is Max Futrell. It's going to be difficult. Fielding goes wide. A couple of cars behind him go even wider. And Senan Fielding has only got one thing to do in this race, and that is attack.
He's just lost a place as well to Bird, so he's down in 6th, I think, but look at him, he's all over the back of him. He really needs to get in front because he has got to get on terms with Futrell. Futrell's got a great start up into the lead. Look, another great move from Fielding. We knew he'd attack.
Yeah, he's one of the most experienced drivers in the field, and it's been a long, long season. He's got the most wins out of the drivers that are in contention for the championship. And he's now coming under pressure from a guy we saw winning, of course, last time around, that same Goddard, the young Australian. But Futrell in the 31 car. 31 seems to be a lucky number. They're going to be going after that. Lando Norris raced that number last year. But a good start. Could have been better for him. And he's got a lot of work to do over the 20-minute race. And remember the format, 3 20-minute races for the F4 British Championship over each weekend.
I know, and it's 30 races, and we've come down to the last race, and there's only 3 points in it. No drop scores, that's just pure points that these guys have scored, and there's only 3 points in it. Fielding is going to have to get on with it. Look at him, he's so much quicker than Lewis Leeds coming onto the Indy circuit through clearway. He's going to go to the outside. Is he going to be able to outbrake him coming into paddock? It looks like he's going to dive to the inside. Look, he's definitely wants this championship, doesn't he? Look at that fantastic move
down the inside, reminiscent of classic pre-slicks and wings Formula Ford racing there, and particularly being at BrandsHatch. The Indy circuit may be the traditional home of Formula Ford as it was, and that's Fielding's move there. It's exactly the sort of move you'd have seen from the likes of Senna when they were in Formula Ford, and Roland Ratzenberger and people like that who came through the Formula Ford route. Here's a replay of it. Goes wide here and then goes back to the inside.
He gets the switchback, then he's not quite got the slipstream there, so then he's going to dive to the inside, outbrake him on the bump. Lewis Leeds gives him plenty of room, but great move from Fielding. It's really important that he's got that done. He's going to have to chase down Pull.
He is going to. Now, Futrell wins with Fielding in 2nd place. Futrell will take the championship, so he's not going to be under pressure until he's being challenged. He's going for it so hard. James Pull's in front of him. Pull's already had one win this weekend, won the opening race of the weekend. And that's the car with the blue Carlin car with the green trim, James Pull, the man that this guy is chasing.
Look how much he's caught him. He's so quick through the back section on the GP circuit. Look how much he's pushing through there. And then he's very good as he comes onto the Indy circuit through clearways. Very high-speed corner. Let's see if he can do the same move as he did on Leeds. Look at him, very quick through there. He's going to get in the slipstream right on the gearbox of Pull. Will he make the same move? Let's see if he's got enough speed down the straight. Is Pull going to make it hard for him? Is he going to dive to the inside? No, I don't think he is.
Has a look, he's worrying him. And remember, the cars 1st and 3rd, which are Carlin cars. We need to congratulate Carlin on retaining the team championship this year. Easy sometimes to forget that there are team championships as well. And Carlin have taken that. It's a Carlin car that the JHR man is chasing now. And well, incredibly, we've very nearly had a quarter of the race already, and Futrell's still there in front. It's going to be sensational for Futrell to nick the championship in the dying embers of this season, really, taking a win from being behind coming into this meeting. It showed great character, and really, for Fielding, qualifying was the issue, wasn't it, for JHR? They didn't look happy in Saturday qualifying.
No, well, didn't quite have the pace in the wet, but look at this, he's going down the inside of Hawthorns, but Pull will be definitely coming off. He's the teammate of Futrell. He won't make it easy for him at all, so Fielding is going to have to do something really special to get past the car of Pull, but he is looking so racy at the minute.
So we'll see whether Fielding can get through. We saw 2 Carling cars dicing together earlier on today, and no team orders with them. But of course, Paul wants to grab the points from here. It's all about where they finish in the championship. Paul is 4th in the standings on 279 behind Lewis Leeds. So Paul here can potentially get himself up to 3rd place and into the podium silverware of the overall championship. So he won't want to see points to Sen and Fielding. But here comes Fielding having a run. Paul knows that he's going to be under pressure and keeps it tight. Then goes out wide. Here comes Fielding. Repeats the move side by side into paddock, and it's through.
Absolute superb move from Fielding. He went for a late move on the brakes, got it done. Paul gave him room. He's now going to have to chase down Simmons. Simmons is the youngest driver on this grid, very inexperienced, but doing a fantastic job to be in 2nd place. He genuinely qualified 2nd place, and he's still keeping it. He's been a superb driver this way. But look at this, a replay of Fielding getting the move done on Paul. He goes last minute on the brakes, on the bump, gets it done. Paul tries to squeeze him. He nearly made contact, but Fielding got the move done. Brilliant move. But look at him, he's already caught Simmons.
Yeah, he has caught Simmons, so he's definitely on a mission at the moment. The fastest lap of the race is with Billy Munger, the teammate of Sen and Fielding, and Billy is running down in 9th place. Jamie Caroline has come up into 10th from the back of the grid, so Caroline on one of his archetypal fly drives through the field.
I was about to say that, but watching Fielding race here, he reminds me of Caroline coming through from the back. They're obviously from the same mould, aren't they? Because they're absolutely on the ragged edge, trying to make up as many places as they can.
Now Fielding wants to get on the case. He's got to pass Simmons. Futrell makes a mistake. Big mistake from Futrell, the race leader. Well, if we thought that Futrell wasn't under pressure, that says to me he is. And Sen and Fielding almost had the box seat to see that.
He did, didn't he? Look at Simmons close right in on Futrell, and Fielding closed in on Simmons. So this is going to be a battle for the lead any second now.
Yeah, we've got a big battle on, and you know what? Fielding here is not going to give up. This is the drive we saw from him yesterday. Runs wide there, putting Simmons under pressure. Looks to the outside, up Haywards Hill, into joins, outside line. Probably won't work for him. He'll tuck back in. Maybe have a look at the inside line of Graham Hill bend, but Simmons gets defensive, looks in the mirrors.
Yeah, Simmons had a bit of a moment through paddock, and that's what slowed Fielding up very slightly, so he had to run wide. But will he be able to go down the inside of Surtees? Don't think he's close enough, so he's going to have to get a good run coming out of Surtees onto the Grand Prix loop.
Now, what a story we're going to get, Phil, if Fielding gets past, and then we've got the straight fight for the championship between those drivers. Obviously, it'd be great to see Simmons in the mix as well, but really you couldn't ask for a better finale to this year's championship.
And as you said before, Fielding, if he does get up to 2nd, it's still not good enough, so he's got to go for the win.
He has to go, yeah, absolutely. So there is Fielding on the Grand Prix loop once again. What a superb venue this is for the finale of this championship. FIA Super Licence points up for grabs, and the title of the provisional, of course, FIA British Formula 4 champion will go this year. Fielding not close enough at the moment to Simmons. Let's see whether he can just get this run down through Clearways and into Clark Curve, and maybe set up a move into paddock again. That's where he's been most effective so far. What's he going to do?
He's not quite close enough as he comes out of Clearways, but he might just go for that move, because he's going to have to do it soon, because Futrell is pulling away from the pair of them. He's not close enough, as I said. Maybe he'll get a good run coming out of paddock. Simmons is keeping it safe, not using any curve. Fielding is actually using every bit of that track just to gain a bit more speed.
He is, and he's got the fastest lap of the race now, Fielding as well, 1:27.4. He won't be too worried about that. No points for that, no more kudos. He really does need to try and come through. I've been told there's a black and white flag for car number 3, Sen and Fielding, in 3rd place. Track limits?
Oh, yeah, it might be, yeah. Well, it has to be, yeah.
The usual BrandsHatch, don't go on the grass.
Yeah, but when you're pushing this hard, you're going to be running wide at times, so he's going to have to be careful, because the black and white flag doesn't want any more of those, because he will get a penalty, and that will destroy this championship. We want this race to go right down to the last lap.
Yeah, very nearly at half distance, and Fielding has made it up, remember, from 6 on the grid, so he's already made big progress. Points-wise, 25 for the win will go to Futrell, and 3rd place 15, so it's 10 points. It'll be a championship by 7 points for Futrell if it finishes like this. Simmons still in 2nd though, and looking pretty good in that 2nd at the moment.
He is in there. I was just about to say, Simmons is looking very quick indeed. The times he's doing, he's only a 10th off what Futrell's doing, but Fielding is doing a 27.4. That's 3/10 faster than Futrell. So he's got fastest lap of the race at the minute, but Paul was catching, wasn't he? Paul's dropped back a little bit now, but I think Fielding might just have used too much of his tyre too soon. He had to do it, but you can see he's just dropped the pace a little bit now.
might be a case of fatigue for the other two drivers later on in this race, so we may still see things happen. But as you can see now, Fielding's getting on the case of the second place driver once again. The pressure is starting to mount on second position. Remember, he's got to catch the race leader. Second is all well and good, but he's got to be dicing for the race lead to have a shout at the championship. We've already seen one slight mistake from Futrell, who collected it all up.
He nearly went for a move there, didn't he, into Surtees. Will he be able to get a good run coming out of it now? It doesn't look like, once again, he's not close enough, but can he just get in the slipstream, just to drag him right up to the gearbox of Simmons, so that he can be a bit closer when he joins the Indy circuit once again?
Yeah, he's trying to nail him down. Paul's still doing a terrific job ahead of Lewis Leeds, and pulling fourth place, which will be 12 points, so he'll pull 2 back on Lewis Leeds. It's not going to be enough for Paul to go up into third place in the championship, so we need to keep our eyes on that. So Leeds could finish third in the championship, but it's still between Futrell and Fielding out front. There is Max in the 31 car, a little bit further back down the order. Jack Martin in the 88th, dicing hard. Jack Boutel ahead of these guys at the moment as well. The number 2 car of Andrew Richardson Racing Machine. Andrew taking over the controls of the 2 car for the last 2 events of the season, and some fine dicing going on there.
Yeah, that was a good move from Richardson. He got past Martin there as Martin was trying to attack Boutel. So it's good that Richardson's getting in the mix here and proving that car is good.
Yeah, let's hope that they can get a drive.
Fielding having a big moment through paddock there. Big oversteer moment. You see how hard he's pushing.
Yeah, he knows it is, isn't it? It's got to be win or bust here for Fielding. He's still trying to put the pressure on Simmons. Simmons wants to go out with a decent result here as well. Set him up for next year. As we've said, it's only been a part season for Simmons. The yellow background on the number indicating that he's a first-year car racer. So first part year with the championship for Simmons, and he's going to be a very valuable asset if he decides to come back next year.
He is a little bit closer now as he's come out of Surtees, but it's just not good enough, is it? Look, Simmons is just getting the traction off that corner, and it's enough to keep him behind. But look, I'd say he's a little bit closer now as they've gone through Hawthorns. Can he make a move into Westfield? He's looking for it, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Here comes Senan Fielding. He's starting to wind in the second place driver, building bit by bit, edging closer, lap by lap. Fielding in third place, still has the fastest lap of the race. The Amigos car there, still hunting down Simmons in second position, and it's still Futrell significantly low. Max not getting away out front. He really does need to get his head down. He's got a lead, but it's not a big one.
These guys are about half a tenth a lap faster than Futrell, but look at him, he's just running wide again as he comes out of clearways. He's got to be careful not to drop a wheel, because he doesn't need to be losing time from Simmons, but Simmons doing a great job of keeping him behind, but also attacking and staying with Futrell.
This is an enthralling battle that we've got then for second position, and it looks at the moment as if the championship ebbing away from Senan Fielding. For him to get into the position he's in the championship was remarkable when you looked at the table mid-season. So it's been a remarkable second half of the year for JHR, really sorted things out. There's the race leader though, the 31 machine, Max Futrell, the youngster from Wokingham, racing for Carlin. As I say, they'll be fighting over 31 next year.
Well, yeah, it's a lucky number, isn't it? But again, you can see Fielding just running wide, coming out of Surtees onto the GP loop. But yeah, back to Futrell. He's been Mr. Consistent, hasn't he? He's done a great job. He's had so many podiums. He's had 3 wins. Doing a fantastic job for Carlin. He's learned so much in a short period of time, because he's only a young driver, first year of cars. Did a great job with the Fusion. Sorry, not Fusion. It was Ricky Flynn. Kart team last year, and now he's had his first year in cars with Carlin, doing a fantastic job.
He is. Now he can't make a mistake. If he allows Simmons through, that will relegate him to 18 points, and then Fielding will be on 15, and then Fielding will tie with Futrell on championship points and will take the championship on the tie-break situation with 5 wins. So it's absolutely crucial that Futrell stays where he is.
Yeah, no, it's so important, but he looks like he's doing a fantastic job. Apart from that little moment as he went through Sterling's, he just had a bit of a slide, but he's got it all collected together. He's now starting to pull away very slightly from Simmons. On that lap he did a 27.4 and Simmons did a 27.5.
Yeah, he's doing the business at the moment and just holding on to it. Simmons now clear from Fielding. Then we've got Lewis Leeds. Remember, Leeds is third in the championship, the Red Bull car. Fastest lap of the race for him, up ahead of Zane Goddard. It's been wonderful to see the international representation of this championship. Ford have done so well to put in drivers from all corners of the globe, if you can have corners on a sphere, before I get pulled up on that on Twitter.
Well, we've got to say, the Aussies have done a fantastic job in this British Championship, haven't they? Zane Goddard's had some wins, Lewis Leeds had some wins, and now they're both set the fastest lap of the race. So, but back to Futrell. He's got 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left to keep these guys behind him. All he has to do is just bring it home now, just keep putting in the consistent laps, and he will be champion.
What's the mindset that he has to have now at this stage of the race?
Futrell just needs to, he's done enough laps now to be in a rhythm, so he doesn't need to change anything. He just has to consistently do the same thing, brake in the same place, make sure he gets his turning points, make sure he picks up the throttle, but not too early, because as we saw, he had a moment through here when he hit this curve. Look, Fielding's pushing harder and harder every lap, whereas Futrell doesn't need to. He just needs to keep doing the same thing lap after lap.
So it is Max Futrell, the championship leader on paper. Coming into this race, of course, it was Sennan Fielding that led by 3 points, but Futrell had pole position. We had no idea that the meeting was going to work out this way when they went out for qualifying. So it's been a topsy-turvy weekend, but what an entertaining and enthralling weekend it's been. Indeed, the whole season has been absolutely thrilling here in F4. We've got another exciting year ahead, and I think it's a big anniversary for Ford next year as well.
I think on that lap, Fielding did the fastest lap, 27.2, so he's caught back. Oh, he's run wide, he needs to be careful. Yeah. He's already had a black and white flag, but he's pushing, you can see how hard he's pushing. He has to do something, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose the championship. Yeah,
could be a time penalty or a drive-through if he continues to do it, but that's all about pushing, isn't it? He's pushing hard. He's trying to close down on Ayrton Simmons, and we really hope the championship doesn't end with a drive-through for him. We want to see the race won on track. He won't want to finish in third. He wants to get up and take the battle to Futrell, who is still there, and still the clock ticks down. James Ford dropping away a little bit now in 4th position. Lewis Leeds in behind him. You can see the gap has really developed. This lead trio have got their heads down, as you said, really got into good race rhythm.
I do hope he doesn't get some sort of penalty, because that will ruin this championship. I know there's only 4 minutes left, but I think the championship should just maybe let the instance that he's had where he's run wide, let them go, just so that he can have this fight and try and take it all the way to the last lap.
Yeah, you want to see the drivers fight for it on track. He knows if he goes too far that it's a mistake. He's not abusing that, to my mind. So
exactly, it's not like he's made any positions. He's actually getting dropped by Simmons. Simmons is catching Futrell. On that lap, he was nearly a tenth faster than Futrell, so Simmons might still be going for this win.
What if we're going to see another first-time winner from Simmons? We saw it from Caroline in the first race, long overdue win for Caroline. And Simmons, if he comes back, he's going to be a potential race winner next year, and he's certainly a potential race winner here, piling the pressure on. We've still got 3 minutes on the clock. Fielding was, again, a bit tidier. Did Simmons make a wee mistake there at Graham Hill?
He did a little bit, but it wasn't too wide. But you are losing traction whenever you run onto those curbs. These ones aren't too bad because they're quite smooth, but the one out of Graham Hill, it's quite aggressive, so you will lose traction, and that is why Fielding is maybe caught him very slightly, and that's why Simmons has lost a bit of time on Futrell.
So they come then up into Hawthorne again. James pull back in 4th position. Through they go. Then we've got Lewis Leeds, Zane Goddard down behind them. Devlin Di Francesco had a little bit of a mare of a weekend. Billy Munger and Jamie Caroline both come up into the points. They're running in 9th and 10th place. Caroline from the very back. Billy Munger started 12th on the grid, so both of those have made progress. Caroline buoyed certainly by his race win in the previous one. Billy Munger's he's going to be out of the points. That's hard lines for Billy, and I think we'll get to see why that happened, or how that happened.
Oh, has he just run onto the exit curb? Yes, it's just broken the suspension. Look, there you go.
Oh.
Hit that big bump over the curb, hit the grass.
Is it that fragile?
Well, it's a nasty bump there, so you have got to be very careful in this. You're fully loaded. It's a high-speed corner. You're fully loaded. You're on the throttle, and he's obviously he's just hit it at a wrong angle, and it's broken the suspension.
Hard lines for Munger, popular figure in the paddock. And I was talking about, the jigsaw being complete with Jamie Caroline taking the win, but Billy Munger could have perhaps taken a win as well. And no disrespect to him saying that Caroline getting the win completed the picture, but Billy has been capable of it. And as you rightly pointed out in the previous race, very nearly won that one at Rockingham.
He did, yeah. It was a real shame. I did feel for him because he drove a brilliant race at Rockingham. He should have got that win, but there he is coming into the pits. There's nothing he can do. He's just got to get it back and jump out and try and come back next year and try and fight for the championship.
I really hope he does. He's a very popular figure and a great little racer. We reckon around about a lap and a half to go here on the timing clock. And it looks like it's going to be Max Futrell. What a way to win the championship by winning the last race, the 30th race of the year for Futrell. He's had 2 wins already, 2 second places, 11 third places. He has been so consistent. If that was F1, he would be champion.
Exactly, yeah, and to go and win the race, to win the championship, that is the way you want to do it. And at the moment, it looks like it's going his way. 1 minute to go. That means they're going to only have 1 lap left. So can Fielding do anything? He looks a little bit closer to Simmons now. Oh, is he going to run wide? He's got to be careful. He's just lost a bit of time there. He's not going to be able to do anything into paddock. Simmons doesn't look close enough to Futrell. 1 more lap to go.
Yeah, they're on to the final lap. So, BrandsHatch Grand Prix circuit, 2.4 miles to go between Max Futrell, or are we going to see a late miracle and Senan Fielding come through in to take the championship? Looks like Futrell has done enough, and he is still there. He's been a faultless drive from him. Well, say a couple of little errors, but he stayed out the front, didn't make enough of an error to drop into the clutches of Ayrton Simmons, who's piled as much pressure as he can on. He's had to look in his mirrors for Fielding. And
what you've got to be careful of now is he knows it's the last lap, and it's very easy to underdrive, because obviously you want to just bring it home. You don't want to make a mistake. It's easy to underdrive, and all of a sudden Simmons and Fielding will be all over him. But it looks like he's pushing hard enough at the minute. He's still got that gap from Simmons. He's done a superb job, I tell you, for a young lad who's first year in car racing. He is absolutely superb.
Yeah, Simmons has been a revelation, hasn't he, this year, and makes us rub our hands together with anticipation for the 2017 season. So, Futrell on the GP loop for the last time. Simmons, superb second position for him by the look of it, and third position is going to be runner-up slot in the championship, I think, for Senan Fielding.
1 corner to go, and Futrell becomes champion for Carlin once again. Lando Norris did it last year. Looks like Futrell's going to do it this year. Can he get through the last corner?
Here he comes then, down through Clearways, into Clark Curve, and onto the Brabham Straight. Carlin are going to be celebrating. Max Futrell will be celebrating this evening for sure, and he takes the title. Max Futrell, congratulations to him. Ayrton Simmons second, Senan Fielding, we've got to congratulate him on a fine second place in the championship, and a great race into third from 6 on the grid. But Max Futrell is the provisional FIA British Formula 4 champion.
Absolutely superb stuff. I'll tell you what, Fielding, that was an amazing drive from him to try his hardest. He was going to make a move on Simmons, but he just couldn't get on terms with him, could he? Simmons did a great job to putting it home in second, but Futrell, that is unbelievable.
And the key thing again, we'll come back to Futrell, great champion, but Fielding up from 6 on the grid, didn't do anything silly. He still finished.
Yep, exactly.
And sometimes the temptation is win or bust, and bust can mean going off the track or taking somebody off. Fielding didn't do that. He raced fairly and cleanly, and I'm not saying accept second place in the championship, but he did all he could in the right manner.
He did, yeah, without any big mistakes. He didn't take anyone out. He made some fantastic moves to get up to third, but he just couldn't live with Simmons. And I just hope Simmons comes back next year, because he is a superb little driver.
I hope so too. Here's the checkered flag. That is the moment where Max Futrell, who has been superbly consistent and fast all season for Carlin, who takes the championship, takes the win. What a way to finish the year. Max Futrell then is champion and takes the win. Ayrton Simmons in second place from Senan Fielding. James Poole is 4th from Lewis Leeds. Zane Goddard 6th, then Devlin Di Francesco. Petru Fiorescu 8th from Jamie Caroline. Rafa Martins in 10th. 11th goes to Alex Quinn. Then it was the Dane Nikolai Kjærgaard from Jack Martin. Jack Boutel in 14th place. Andrew Richardson 15th from Frank Bird, non-finish, sadly, for Billy Munger. The provisional final standings look like this. Max Futrell, the champion from Senan Fielding, 7 points adrift. Lewis Leeds is 3rd, and then James Poole from Devlin Di Francesco. Petru Fiorescu 6th from the rookie champion Alex Quinn. Zane Goddard in 8th place from Rafa Martins, and Jamie Caroline in 10th.